Hi, my name is Victoria. I am a lash consultant here at NovaLash. This is Chelsea, also a fellow lash consultant. What we're going to do today is we're going to show you an easy way to do a nice Valentine's Day look, and then we're going to show you how to transition from that into something more evening style for like a nice date night that you may have planned with your boyfriend or girlfriend. Right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how you can take two different colors and blend them into what you need them to be. For instance, she's not going to get an absolute solid black brow. We're going to go in there and use a mix of two of our colors, the Owry and Garden of Eden. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here and I'm going to grab one of my brushes and I'm going to take a little bit of this color out. I'm going to take just a tad because I am going to have to mix this. I'm going to take a little bit. This is our Owry. I'm also going to take a little bit of our Garden of Eden. This is a nice neutral brown. So I got my two smudges. And you can use a lot of different types of brushes. NovaLash has a specific brush that can be used for the brows as well. I personally like an angled brush whenever I'm doing brows. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here and get some of this black. You always start with your dark and you add it to your light. You don't want to add your light to your dark because then it's not going to lighten enough for you. You're going to have to start with your darks and add it to your light. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and I'm actually going to start work on her lid. I'm going to start with one of our darker colors. This is Oxblood. This is a beautiful purple red hue that blends out beautifully on the skin. It is a matte color. It doesn't have any kind of sheen. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start over here in the corner and I'm going to add a little bit. And then I'm going to blend that because I don't want it to be too dark. And this stuff is very pigmented, but it does blend out really well for you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here and make the shape of what I want this to be, and you can tell that I'm just going in here and tapping because I don't want to smear it out. This is a cream and I want it to blend and I don't want it to be like a paste. I'm gonna go in here and just tap into this shape. And now that it's partially dried, I can lightly, very lightly go over the edges and it'll blend that out beautifully for me. Alright, so the next color that I'm going to use is going to be Lust. This one has a lot of different functions, which I can get into in a little bit, but this one has a very nice shine to it. It's not a shimmer, but it does have a very nice glossy shine to it. And what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to take this and put it on the outer edge of what I've just done. I'm going to leave this inner bit here nice and dark. I'm going to come with this color and put it right on the edges of that dark color there. Just blend that. Now this is where you can actually go in there and put a little bit of pressure behind your brush because you want it to blend. You're not so much trying to just deposit the color. So we go in here, we're going to use this as our blending tone. So we're going to take this Lust and we're going to use actually a little bit more. So we're going to go ahead and kind of liberally put it on our brush, and you don't want a whole hunk of it, but you want enough to cover her lid. And you see how I added more to that, and it's coming through beautifully. Now I'm going to rotate my brush where I don't have a lot of product so that I can blend it into this darker tone. The Dragon Tree, this is actually a green shadow, at least it looks like a green shadow. This is more of a shimmer, a very solid shimmer. And I'll actually go ahead and show you what I'm talking about here. This is our dragon tree. And as you can see, it's not a super bright color. Now this is a decent size amount. I don't like to use it in this kind of consistency. I like to pull it out a little bit and blend it. And you can even use that as a highlight. Like I'll end up using it up here in this area and usually in the crease of the eye, or excuse me, the inner corner of the eye. Alright, so let's go ahead and take some of that. We don't need a lot, we're just gonna get a little bit for the tip of our brush. Make sure your brush is dry after you clean it because you don't want those colors to blend. So I also want to use this as a highlight underneath the brow, but as you see, when I apply this color, it really gives it a lot of pop. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a little bit on my brush here, and I'm going to kind of tap my brush off just a tad, because I don't want that color, I want that shine. And I'm going to take and very lightly, if I can, apply this just on the outer edge of what that we applied earlier. And take that, I'm going to blend it up into her brow. Now I'm going to come in on the bottom and I'm going to use a little bit of this Lust. And you want to, anytime that I do the bottom or the underneath part of the eye, I like to start with a lighter color and then come back on the lashes and just add a little bit of a darker color. So I'm going to take this Lust and I'm using a kind of a flat style brush just because I want it to blend really well, but I don't want to use an angled brush because I don't want that much detail. All right, so now I'm going to get a little bit of that dragon tree that I had earlier to do the dark part of her eye on top. Now, I'm not going to use much of this. I'm going to use still the same brush. I'm just going to get a little teeny tiny bit. The tip of this brush, I'm going to put it right by her lashes. Look at that one. And I usually like to keep it, especially the dark, I like to keep it a little bit thicker towards the outside of the eye so that it blends nicely into this top layer here from the top lid of the eye. All right, so how do you get smudge resistant and waterproof makeup off? I personally like the Clean Lash. This is one of my favorite products. I just grab a little pad or a couple because sometimes you just need a couple, especially when you got that much color. And so check this out, right? This stuff isn't really moving. It's like not moving at all. Nothing's happening to this. Check this out. Look at that. It just goes in there and break. Even the Clean Lash has to take a second to work and actually get it to break up that pigment in that eyeshadow. But you can see that I don't have anything left on my hand anymore, aside from the giant smudge. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with a quick lip. And I'm actually gonna bring Lust back out because this will give you a little bit of a shine without putting, without having to have too much on your lip. So I'm just gonna get this on a regular flat brush. I like to have the ones that are cut straight across. And I'm just gonna come in here and just fill on her lips. So this is a perfect look for starting your day. You can just kind of throw this down, and then from there, this will stay there all day. So you can actually just come back and add a little bit of depth whenever you're ready to go out to dinner, or if you have a date planned. I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to get to that point. Now remember how whenever I first started, I started with the darker part of her eye, or the darker shadow for this part of her eye. I'm gonna go ahead and pull that one back out. That's that ox blood. I'm just gonna come in there and add just a little bit more depth in those dark areas. I'm gonna bring it really close to her lash line. I'm just gonna go in that same shape that I went in before. As I said last time, go ahead and deposit your color and then tap it out. Now I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna use the same color that we, oh, actually no, this one is a different one. This one is our Heavenly. This is a satin. This doesn't have any kind of shine or shimmer to it at all. It's got like a really nice matte. And so what I'm gonna do with this, I'm gonna give her a little bit of a dramatic kick in the inner part of her eyes. Come close for me. Now this is more of a light color, so I'm gonna come in here and put this over that dragon tree. Just like we did with the dragon tree, we're just going to go in there and add a nice little bit of light color here on the inner corner. I'm going to use our Milk and Honey. It's got a nice little shimmer to it. And this, I'm just going to put it on the tip of my brush. This is going to be an accent, so you don't want a whole bunch of color. I'm just going to go in here and put it right in here on the inner corners, and then deposit the color, then blend. And just for a little bit more of a dramatic kick, she does have some beautiful fake lashes on, but sometimes we like to have that little bit of drama just on certain occasions, not necessarily for every day. So what I like to do is once we've gotten that dark color put down, I like to come in and add just a little bit of the Owry right there along the lash line, using just a nice strong round brush, because you want to smudge. We're not going to do a cat eye. We're going to do a nice smoky eye, because she's going to get off work. She's going to need to get ready quickly. She doesn't have time to make sure that that's a beautiful cat eye. So she's going to come in here and just get a little bit on her brush and just smudge right near that lash line. So I'm facing the brush downwards because I want to get on the under part, right where the lashes are coming out of her lid. And then I'm just going to apply and then blend. All right, and just for a little bit more of a dramatic touch on her bottom lip, what we're gonna do is we're gonna use the ox blood once again. We're gonna have a nice little angled brush because I want this to be fairly detailed. And all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come in here and just outline almost her lip. And as you can see, I'm kind of staying out towards the corners. I'll show you how to make a quick and easy ombre lip. With little to no effort, especially with these cream shadows, it makes it really easy. Alright, so you kind of clean your brush a little bit and you just come back and smudge right along those edges. Again, this is a clean brush and all I'm doing is just coming back in there and just kind of pulling these ends of that ox blood in towards that lust. And if you're feeling really saucy, you can go in there and add just a tiny bit, pardon me, of milk and honey just to the center. Now this is just going to be more of a highlight, so you just take a little bit on there. And you want to just remember to tap and apply your color and then tap to blend. Now this I'm just going to turn around and use the other end of this. What I'm going to do is just kind of smear it on there a bit while it's wet. Set the other part right here at the bow of her lip. Give it a slightly natural highlight. And again, I'm just using the other side of this and blending that outwards. And so now you've gone from just a regular day look, something that's not too crazy, something that you can do pretty easy in the morning, and now we've shifted it into something for the evening by just adding a little bit darker color on top and adding a little bit of liner on the bottom and a tad bit of highlight. So now she is set absolutely for the rest of the evening. She can go out, she can have drinks, she doesn't have to have a straw, and it should last her well into the next day, if she's lucky. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Victoria, and it has been a pleasure working with you today.